Hello, once more, and welcome back to the NFL prediction videos here on YouTube on this Tuesday edition for week number 17. We're down to the final 2 weeks. After going 3-4 in week 16, my record goes to 58 or 54. Only three more wins than last week. 3 more wins and 4 losses, unfortunately, which puts me back 4 games above 500. Hopefully, I can do better here in week 17 and finish the week 17 off correctly. Stay above 500 this week. I need to get at least 3 or 4 picks correct this week in order to do that. If not, I'm going to fail and be under 500 possibly. But I need to get into it here in week 17. We have 7 games on the schedule, playoff implications on the line this week, so let's get right on into it. Week 17, 2023 NFL predictions right now. Let's get started, everyone. First matchup on the docket coming up on Saturday night. In a Saturday night football game, which will be on ESPN for ESPN's Monday night game, since there's no more Monday night games the rest of the year. All games are on Saturdays and Sundays over the next 2 weeks. So no Monday night games the rest of the season until the wild card week. In the postseason, first game up, Lions, the NFC North Division winners for 2023, and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys coming off a loss to the Dolphins by a last-second field goal over the weekend on Sunday. Cowboys have to get a rebound to stay above 500 and stay back in the race because they're now behind the Eagles in the NFC East. Lions coming off a big win on the road at Minnesota as they clinched the division title for the first time since the 97 season when it was the NFC Central and they had 5 teams. They had the Buccaneers in their division back then. I was only 1 year old last time that happened. So, going into this matchup, I think the Lions having to go down to Dallas on Saturday night. This is going to be a tough road game for the Lions for a second straight week. I think the Cowboys have a better advantage playing at home against the Lions. I think it's going to be a little too loud for Detroit to get in rhythm for Jared Goff and the Lions to get into rhythm and win a game here this weekend on Saturday night. So, with that being said, I'm going to take the Cowboys and Dak Prescott at home on Saturday night to get a win, to stay in the hunt for NFC East division crown, as I think the Cowboys win Saturday night. Next up, moving on to our Sunday slate. First match of the weekend on Sunday. The Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa coming in. They have to go to Baltimore on Sunday afternoon to play the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, a game which I'm surprised has not been moved to be the Sunday night game next week for Sunday Night Football. This could happen potentially. I don't know if the NFL is going to move this game to the Sunday night matchup, because I did see the Sunday night matchup. They're keeping the Vikings and Packers in that Sunday night matchup, which is basically an elimination game on Sunday night next week. I think they should move this game to Sunday night instead, because this is the game which will decide, I believe, who's going to be the number 1 seed in the postseason this year. And I'll go back to my preseason predictions on this way back when. Back in August, when I predicted AFC. Unfortunately, I did not have these 2 teams in the postseason picture at all. Shocker. I did not pick these teams at all to make it this year in 2023. Regular season to postseason. With that being said, I think the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa having to go on the road to play in Baltimore, I think it's going to be a tough task to get a win in Baltimore. I think the only way the Dolphins get a win here in this matchup on Sunday is if they play hard. And I think both teams are going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight to determine who's going to be the NFL MVP between Tua Tagovailoa and Lamar Jackson. I like the Ravens coming out on top of this matchup to clinch the number 1 seed potentially with a win. So give me the Ravens here on Sunday afternoon to get a win here in this first matchup on Sunday. Moving on. Atlanta Falcons coming in at 8-7 as they go to Chicago to meet the Bears and Justin Fields. I'll say this as a Bears fan, it's been a tough year watching this Bears. I haven't watched a lot of the Bears games because I've had to work a lot because they're always on at like noon and stuff this year. But this year, the Bears, 5-9 coming in. They still have a chance to potentially get a wild card spot, but that's going to be kind of hard, I think, because I think the Falcons coming into Chicago with Desmond Ridder and their team, I think the Falcons have the better chance in this matchup to at least get a win. And I think the Falcons have the much better team at 8-7. I think they're going to win to 9-7 this week because they're in a three-way tie. If they win, they'll be 9-7. There's going to be two 9-7 teams potentially in the NFC South at the end of the week, and I think the Falcons will be one of those two teams that gets to 9-7 on the year with a win on Sunday in Chicago. So give me the Falcons there. Next matchup. I have to go to Las Vegas. Raiders at 6-8, and the Indianapolis Colts currently coming in at 8-7. Colts and Raiders, this is another matchup that has a chance. Antonio Pierce and the Raiders yesterday shocked the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes, my favorite team. And unfortunately, as a Chiefs fan, it's hard to think about that loss. Chiefs are not. The Chiefs are going to have to go on the road this postseason, most likely. I'll have their predictions here coming up in a minute for their game. In this matchup between Indianapolis and Las Vegas, Colts still have a chance. They're tied in a three-way tie as well, just like the NFC South. The NFC South has a three-way tie where all teams come in at 8-7. Colts, I think, playing at home this week against Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas, unfortunately, is going to get a loss this week in Indianapolis, and I think that's going to happen only because the Raiders have to go on the road for a second straight week. This time they have to go to the Eastern time zone after being in Kansas City in the Central time zone. They have to go to the Eastern time zone this time around. I think the Vegas, unfortunately, is going to pick up a loss. I don't think they're going to get a win this matchup, only because they're playing on the road for a second straight week. I think the Colts pick up a win, get to 9-7. That may be one of the two teams in the AFC South. I don't know exactly if Jacksonville or Houston is playing. I'll have to look that up here shortly. But I'm not predicting that game. I'm predicting this game. I think the Colts get a win, go to 9-7, as they beat the Raiders this week on Sunday. Next up, NFC South time. New Orleans Saints, 8-7. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in at 8-7. Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr, two different teams. Two new quarterbacks, both for both teams. Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield have a chance to win the division, to go to 9-7. They have a chance to get a win this week. Saints also have a chance to go to 9-7. I think the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield, after beating the Jaguars last week at home, I think the Buccaneers can do it again. Baker Mayfield is so good. He's been talented this year. He's going to make the playoffs for a second time, I think, in his career with him this year. The question is, will they win the division? I think the Buccaneers get a win this week against the Saints at home. The Saints have not looked too good lately with Derek Carr as their starting quarterback, and the Saints fans aren't very happy right now. I think that's going to continue to happen because I think the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield get a win on Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon, they get a big win, and it turns out the Saints will be the 8-8 going into Week 18, while the Buccaneers will be 9-7 as well, just like the Falcons I predicted earlier will be 9-7. So give me the Buccaneers for this one here on Sunday afternoon. Moving on to the next game on the schedule. Second to last game, this one in Seattle between the 8-7 Pittsburgh Steelers and the 8-7 Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks and Geno Smith, they want to make it to the postseason. They're in a they're tied for second with the Rams at 8-7, while the Steelers currently tied for third in the AFC North with the Bengals at 8-7. We'll talk about the Bengals in a moment. Well, this matchup, Steelers and Seahawks. Steelers going on the road. I think they found their guy, Mason Rudolph, who's now starting at quarterback. Trubisky's out right now on the bench, and so is Kenny Pickett, who's been hurt, missed some games because of injuries. And the Steelers, maybe their third-string quarterback, Mason Rudolph, maybe he'll be the guy that leads them to postseason. Maybe you need to keep him as a quarterback. Think about Kenny Pickett. Why do you draft him from Pittsburgh? You wanted him to stay at home in Pittsburgh. He went to college. I think this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a matchup where both teams are going to have to play hard. Both teams are going to have to find ways to win. It's going to be whichever team I think will get the ball last, potentially in this matchup. With that being said, I like the Steelers going on the road to go to 9-7 and get a win on Sunday against Seattle on the road. So there you got it. One more matchup. Let's go. Like I said, it's the Cincinnati Bengals, 8-7. And here have to play Kansas City. Looking at this matchup, this is a rematch of the AFC title game from last year, where both teams, Chiefs are 9-6 currently, while the Bengals sit at 8-7 in a tie for third place with the Steelers here on New Year's Eve. It's going to be interesting to see. Hello. Yeah, this matchup is one of those easy ones to predict. These two teams have met the last few years to go to the Super Bowl. And it's hard to pick this matchup because these are two teams that are really good. The Chiefs have had a bad season this year. No wide receivers stepping up to be a number one. For Cincinnati, they're down their backup quarterback, who is only 3-1 so far in his career, and Jake Browning is starting quarterback. And I think Kansas City's going to win this matchup, get a win at home, win the division, go to 10-5, 10-6. I mean, so give me Kansas City in this matchup on Sunday afternoon, the late game for the week. Here's a quick recap who I'm taking. I'm starting in Dallas. I'm taking the Cowboys over the Lions. And in Baltimore, I'm taking the Ravens over the Dolphins. In Chicago, I'm taking the Falcons over the Bears. And in Indianapolis, I'm taking the Colts over the Raiders. And in Tampa Bay, I'm taking the Buccaneers over the Saints. In Seattle, I'm taking the Steelers over the Seahawks. And then in Kansas City, I'm taking the Chiefs over the Bengals. So there you have it. There's my predictions for the week. Comment below who you like this week and if your favorite team is going to win. And you know what to do. To remember to watch, like, subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends as well to do the same. And also don't forget to hit the notification button below so you know when there's a new video. And with that being said, I'll see you next week in Week 18 for the Week 18 prediction video next Tuesday. I'll see you back here next Tuesday on January 2nd in the new year for Week 18's prediction video. So have a nice day, stay safe, and peace out. And I'll see you next Tuesday, everyone, in Week 18. Bye for now. See ya.